Welcome to Power Monday, where your Mondays will never be blue again. Hello everybody, good morning and welcome back to another episode of Power Monday, where your Mondays will never be blue again. As usual, my name is Taufik, and if you're new here to the series, Power Monday is ERA's original podcast where we bring in the best of the best in the industry to share their real life journeys, the strategies that kept them going, and the best practices for success. So if you guys are looking for your weekly dose of motivation, empowerment, remember we're here for you every Monday, 10 a.m. and also we will be available on ERA SG Spotify and OneERA YouTube. Now, for today, in the Power Monday studio, we have someone who began his journey from humble beginnings and showcasing already at a young age, showcasing his entrepreneurial spirit. From selling 20-cent erasers in primary school, now he's transitioned to selling multi-million-dollar homes, and with the same passion and drive and courage and all of that good stuff. And now, for him, sales isn't just a job, it's a calling, something he's fallen in love with along the way. So everybody, please welcome to the Power Monday studio, the one and only Donny Lee.
Hi.
Donny, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Okay, now, so today we're going to talk about failing self towards success. And if you guys tune in to our previous episode with Alex Lim, Alex talked about 5 failures that forge success. And I think it's very important that we go deeper and emphasize more about this one part of one aspect of failure that most of us really don't look into, which is ourselves. And when we are afraid of failure, it leads into inaction.
Right.
We scared to do something, and then when that happens, all our opportunities leave, and we might not be able to get it again. So maybe, Donny, to start off, why do you think so many people are afraid of failure?
I think we are taught in, probably is also our common upbringing and also school system. We never want to fail our tests. We never want to fail our exam, our spellings and everything else. People kind of take it hard when things don't turn out to be as expected.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's common for human, right? They find failure equals negative stuff, and naturally people will fear of failure. Yeah,
and then this fear will hold them back from doing what they want.
Exactly.
And sometimes even if they already have the passion to do something, with this fear, they're afraid to do it, and then they regret.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So for you, starting off, was real estate something that you always wanted to do?
I thought of selling things when I was young. Right.
20-cent erasers.
In fact, my first part-time job during my transition from secondary school to my poly, I started selling shoes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when I have the first real encounter in sales job.
In sales, okay.
Right. Then during that point of time, I learned some of the skill set, the mindset, the attitude, and of course the rewards from selling something. Right. Then it brings me to be more interested in sales, right?
Yeah.
And naturally, when I'm in the army, and when I was thinking, what career should I go into, right? Or what job do I go into? So I think I always envision myself on this thing. Why must someone be only when they reach a certain age, then they are able to drive nice car and own nice home? Why it has to be old and successful? Why can't it be young and rich and successful? So I always think, then how can I shortcut my path to reach the goals that I want to be? So I thought sales naturally is the way, right? And if I want to sell something, I'll go for the highest ticket item. What can it be? At least for me, what I can see is a real estate. So I thought of doing real estate, but at that point of time, social media wasn't like now. In fact, there isn't any social media. So it's very hard for me to speak to any real estate leaders or agents. Then that's where I didn't start doing real estate, but I started doing sales. and I set a goal for myself before the reach age of 30 to firm out what I actually want to do in my life, right? Because by the time I reach 30, right, I will be probably having kids, married. It will not be so easy for me to change job. So I decide that I want to finalize, firm out what I want to do. So I will try different kind of jobs before I reach 30. And so that I can finalize it and stay throughout and build it into a career. Right. So, but I'm fortunate enough. During my cross path, I went into insurance sales for 3 years. Also managed to won a couple of awards. Nothing big or what. But the blessing comes when I get to know one of the insurance partners that I have at the point of time. He was a property agent as well. So at that point of time, we are still allowed to have the dual career. And at that point of time, there isn't any CA regulation. So he asked me, hey, Donny, have you ever thought about doing real estate sales? Then I was like, real estate sales? Then I gave a very, I gave a reply being the self at that age, right? I say, do real estate? Does it mean that I have to work on weekend? Wow, then how? Because at the point of time, we also quite, we find our own time quite precious because we can spend time with friends, hang out and have fun, right?
Your youth,
Yeah. Then my partner asked me, bro, I asked you, time, you want time or you want money? I was thinking, time, money. It should be money, right? Because at that point of time, I really need money, right? So that's when I say, yeah, actually, I think money is more important. Then I quickly go and sign up, and that's where I started my journey of real estate.
So would you say at that point when you started, your fear to get into real estate journey was fear of losing the sort of youth life that you will have, like the kind of freedom? Was that?
Fear actually is more. There isn't a fear at the point of time, but it's more towards. I find that my time is more like precious, but I haven't get off the mind frame that actually I need to start working hard or at a point of time, right? So that is what happened at the point of time.
So when you went into real estate, was there already points of like, what if I fail, that went through your mind?
What if I fail? Actually, at that point of time, I also don't have that fear.
Oh, really?
I don't have that fear. To me, it's okay to fear. That's why I say I can change different job until I reach 30. That's the attitude that I have. When I go into insurance at the point of time, which some of my friends may discourage me, I also don't tell them what I do. I just enter because trusting that my partner can guide me along and make some good money. Then after that, he encouraged me to join real estate. That's when with a leap of faith, I also just enter. To me, failure is inevitable. You do have good failure or bad failure. Good failure is when you learn, you grow, and you become better. Bad failure is if you feel really lousy, bring yourself down, and your life spiral downwards. But to me, good failure or bad failure, it depends on your perception, your point of view. Everything that's good and that's bad, right? And it's not whether the failure is it worth having, it's how you make the failure worth it.
How you make your failure worth it,
right? That's my thinking. So if I so-called don't do well in something, I want to make sure I learn something out of it. Right. So, and anyway, when we do something new, we won't want to enter with the idea that we will fail.
Correct.
We want to enter that we will do well and succeed. If you know that confirm you will not succeed, likely you will not enter. Right. So that is natural thinking. So I go in, I just want to do my best. I didn't have the thought that I will fail. But even if it will I think it's a good feedback.
Then throughout the years and leading up to the person that you are now,
Yeah.
right? How do you accept failures and then move on? Like, do you have any strategies that you tell yourself or a mindset you have to shift every time when you have a setback? How do you pick yourself back up?
I was very blessed during my younger days. I read this book called Winning the Game of Life. If you know of Adam Khoo, right? Right now he's teaching stocks market. Previously, he spent more time in doing education to kids and adults. And there was this book that I chanced upon. I learned a lot from his book, and one of the part he written there, failure. Actually, there's no failure in life. It's just feedback. Feedback for you to learn and do better.
Yeah.
So I adopt that statement. I adopted that quote, and I live by it since then. So I'm someone who, when I pick up a positive things that can empower me, right, I will live by it. I think every day we are always talking to ourselves.
Correct.
Right, during our own time, as we walk, we drive, during shower or whatever, we will have something, our inner voice talking to ourselves. So if you know how to control your inner voice, you can control your life. And I install that word into my dictionary in my mind, right? So I upload that software. Then it's there permanently, and to me, everything is feedback. So sometimes when I coach agent, they say, "Hey, Donny, how do you? Why you can counter the objection, the rejection so easily?" I say, "Huh? Got me? Got rejection me?" It's just feedback from your client, right?
Wow,
They just trying to tell you what they like and don't like, ma.
Yeah.
It's normal. You mean you buy something, everything you like?
Correct.
Right. So that
is the way how they think.
It's how you perceive.
Your
perspective.
Because if you perceive it as failure, then obviously in your mind it's going to be a failure lah.
Exactly.
If you perceive as feedback, then you'll take it as something for you to improve on. Correct. Yeah. So was there a point in time in your career or in your personal life where you were hesitant to do something because the possibility of failure? Like you mentioned that you really have that habit in your mind, right? But maybe in the early start of career, was there any, or maybe now even, was there any hesitant
to do something that is scared of failure?
Yeah, to do something that maybe you've never done before or out of your comfort zone.
Actually, real estate have evolved all these years. I think since I started in 2009, those were the days, era where we use newspaper. Then we adopt online marketing. Then we do social media marketing.
Yeah.
So every other year, we are doing different things. Then, of course, when we go into leadership role, we start to do trainings, start to do Facebook Live, Instagram, TikTok, do projects, right? Even this podcast. I think, to me, I will just do it, right? I'm someone who adopt the right mindset of just do your best and see how it turns out.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't really have fear of failure. I only have fear that I mentally, emotionally, and physically I can cope. That's why I always want to protect these three states so that I be my optimal state to do everything.
Okay. Then maybe could you share a bit on what do you do to protect those?
Okay. Okay. First of all, I think mental state.
Yeah.
Right. I used to be listening to all those sad songs. I think like those Chinese pop.
Emotional.
Yeah. But after a while, I changed my playlist to hype music.
Yeah.
Fast music. Right. Then suddenly I'm in a different zone. Right. Then that's how I keep my mind in the right state. Then I always pick up positive news, positive shows to watch, talk to positive people. You are the 5 people that I mix around with. Then that's how I keep my positive state. Then of course, emotionally wise, I think our families is important, right? That's why we also spend a lot of time guarding a family, protecting a family, and being there for them. And of course, they'll be there for you, right? My wife, my girls, my parents, my in-laws, all are very important people for me. They are my world, right? And when they are good, I'm good. Right? So that is also how we take care of each other emotionally. And I think my wife helps me a lot to give me the encouragement to do all the things that I need, right?
Yeah.
And she has kept me in one of the top state in terms of emotion, right? Then we talk about physical. Recent days or recent months, I also pick up some good habits, like maybe to do some gymming, try to eat right, avoid some of the things that will bring your energy down, right? So learn from all the videos that I watch, the coaches that I met, the trainers that I met, the people that I mix around with, who is into healthy lifestyle. So I believe if you focus where your focus is where you go, right? So that's how I keep myself with these three balance. I think it helps me to keep me in my peak condition to do my daily tasks.
Understand.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have instances or examples of your downlines coming to you and say, Donny, I really feel like I cannot do this thing, or I really feel like I cannot get this lead or close this deal.
Yeah.
So, using failure as a valuable teacher, how would you actually approach that downline and how would you help?
Actually, quite common, right? Because they are not backed up by experience, right? And just like when I was a kid, sometimes maybe I may not be confident in doing some things, and when our parents encourage us, I think we can do it, right?
Yeah.
Just like every time I want to try something new, my mom will just say, "Okay, I'll give you a shot. As long as it's the right thing, it's not anything illegal, just give it a shot." Right? That kind of mindset I also encourages my agent, right? If I think it can be done, I will tell them. If I think there's challenges, I will guide them to avoid, right? To minimize the damage and increase the odds of conversion. So that's where I come into the picture. That's how I encourage them. I think most people will think it's quite difficult to do some things. They always have fear of failures, but I always give them a lot of encouragement, being there for them, talk to them, remind them how good they are, right? Show them their milestone, the different checklists that they have achieved. I'm sure they will do very well in future.
Because all of them, like you said, is the way they are brought up is different setting.
Yeah.
So some of them might already see failure as the first thing when they want to do something new.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you say when you want to do something, you give two choices earlier. You say either you just do it, and then if you cannot do it, you will challenge yourself to try another way to do it. But you never mention don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's always never give up.
Yes.
Right? It's always try to find another way to reach that goal. So how do you train your mindset or yourself to not see something as a full stop? Like, I cannot.
Okay, I think I always seek guidance from all the top people, right? The inspirations. The inspirations.
The inspirations, yeah.
One of the trainers of one of the top life coach that most people know, Anthony Robbins. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah.
Right. And whenever he shared something, I will just write it down. I'll remind myself. I will repeat. I will share on my social media.
Yeah.
And I'll adopt it. Right. So as you should remember earlier, I mentioned about uploading software into myself.
Make it happen.
I always update software with him. I of course with my other leaders around that they share with me, and it's a habit, right? Because there's two ways to lead your life. One is negative, one is positive. And to be positive, you need to always install antivirus into yourself, right? And when you install the right antivirus, you protect yourself in your mind, emotionally. Then that's when you can get things done, right? So this is this is how I tackle it.
What would you how would you advise someone who they really, like you said, they really try their best, but then they cannot. Then after that, they say, I don't want to try again. Because it's common, right? It's a lot of people, maybe for those who have not had their first, maybe their goal is to reach their first million, but they have not had the chance or the opportunity, or every time they want to try to do something, they cannot reach the first million. And then they really say, don't lah. Yeah.
You know, as a real estate coach ourselves, sometimes there's only so much we can do.
Correct.
Right. We can not stop a cow that want to eat grass, and we also cannot stop a cow that want to eat grass, right? But what we do is we number one, we create a community for them to encourage each other. We conduct training to guide them. Sometimes I also bring my agents to external courses that teach us motivations, right? Guide them, direct them, and encourage them to be with us. But there's always some of them who maybe with their upbringing, with their mindset, everything is negative.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really tough to change someone, right? But with some of the system that we set up, the committee that we built, it does help some, right? Recently, we have a few agents that join us, have some setbacks in their previous agency, right? We come over, we talk to them, we spend some time, we empower them with the right thinking, we instill belief into them. Things start to pick up, right? So there'll be a few that we can help, and there'll be some that is really beyond reach. But end day, you know, like if you're unwell, right, you will probably see a doctor.
Correct.
Doctor will give you a prescription. There'll be two types. One is medicine prescription. The other prescription could be things that you need to do in terms of exercise, right? You can choose what to do, right? You can choose what to eat, right?
Yeah.
Then how the doctor come and knock on your door? Hey, Taufik, have you eaten your medicine?
Cannot spoon feed.
Yeah, but I did try to this kind of spoon feed. I kind of really, I follow up with them, with him. Hey, you say you want to do this, have you done it? After a while, they just ghost on me.
Oh.
Then how? The next thing I need to do is always call them and go to their house, right?
Yeah.
But it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes it's a truth, right? Every job, every company, every trade, there's always some who are a bit more self-reliant, some a bit more pessimistic, right? So but if we have done our best, I think the rest is for the agents to follow through.
Yeah.
And I always been thinking every night, how can I do better to help my agent?
Oh, wow.
Right, who need help. So on and off, I'll touch base with some of them, right, to see I can help them. Everyone need help in different ways. Some you need partnership, some need some support in terms of funding for prospecting. So some need guidance, some need this kind of trainings. So everyone is different. But I'm trained to read the agents so that I can guide them in their unique way.
Yeah, so support is very important. And
it is important.
It's something that I guess also you try to implement.
Yes.
And they also, for those who are afraid of failure, you have to want something for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, you don't have a goal.
Yeah.
How can I train you to be the top athlete?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Then sometimes I also realize that when you say you want this, then every time, for example, you give suggestions, oh, you should do this, then they say, but they always have excuses. Excuses.
Right.
So excuses is also the dangerous thing. It's the huge part of failure is excuses.
Exactly.
Yeah. So was there a point during your early days that you realized you always had excuses and then you had to change that mindset?
Actually, not really. As I shared earlier, during my early years, I adopted the software,
Quite a
right?
young age gap.
Yeah, early 20s.
Yeah.
Then there's no failure, there's feedback, right? So actually, I failed a lot of times in different ways. Excuses, not of what I can think of, but it's always do, then cannot, then do again, feedback, how can I do it better? That's why I thought. That's my living strategy.
Yeah. But excuses, if you want to do something, then there shouldn't be any excuse to achieve something, right?
Yes.
You should try your very, very, very best.
Yeah, but if you were to ask, what is that one thing that maybe at first I don't want to do for some reason, right? It's not a reason, because if the reason is valid, it's not an excuse, ma.
Correct.
Right? It's to a person it's a reason, ma.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe to you it's an excuse. Example, if you say, I don't like to eat spicy stuff.
Then
That's a reason, ma.
Yeah.
But depending on their point of view, ma, they say, our whole family eat chili one. And you haven't even tried, why you don't like? Well, that's the perspective, ma. But to you, it's a reason, ma. To him, it's an excuse. But if you want to ask something like that, there's once I'm quite afraid of heights. I don't like. I'm not afraid of heights. I don't really enjoy being in too
high
physically.
Yeah.
Then furthermore, if you ask me to do things like jumping off a very high platform, it's something that
bungee jumping.
Bungee jumping is definitely something not in my pipe.
Roller coaster.
But avoiding it is in my pipeline. But anyway, I'm not talking about that. There's something I did. To me, is quite a breakthrough.
Okay.
I was quite tall, like 3 tall, like maybe level 3 kind of tall height. So there was this outdoor training that I attended. I was required to climb up to the top floor. To a treetop, right? With the harness.
Yeah.
I supposed to jump off it. Then just pull me with harness.
It's like those extreme outdoor activities.
A bit. But the one is more of self-development. It's more on is to develop myself to be a better person.
Yeah.
So the exercise I still remember is called leap of faith. So I was thinking, sometimes you learn in theory and do it physically is different.
Correct.
Right. So this was one exercise that I did. Right. I give myself a lot of reason why I cannot jump. And the most valid reason is I don't like height.
Yeah.
Is it valid? I don't know. It's up to you. You can say it's an excuse, right? But I overcome that reason. I say I want to learn leap of faith. So I bang up and I jump.
Straight away? Was that?
Oh yeah, it was a straight away.
Oh really?
It was a straight away. It was I recall maybe if you record my footage, it's not. I don't know. But at least based on my memory, it's a straight away thing.
Yeah, but that's the best way to do it also, straight away.
Straight away I go up because everyone is looking at me. I need to jump off it. Right. Anyway, the exercise is very hard to avoid also. Because it's a team thing, right?
Yeah.
So I went up, I jumped, and it just breaks some of my mindset, limiting belief. Like, this is what a leap of faith means. Right? Means you really jump knowing that someone will help you.
Someone is there.
Is there to support you, and you will not
be there, anything happens.
Hurt yourself, right? So it was very memorable, and that pushes me to do more things. And sometimes things may be uncomfortable, but if we were to be able to go through it, I think we can be a better self.
So do you think you would try such activities like that. Isn't
So
it?
with that, right, I can share with you, Taufik. Younger days, there's this fantasy island.
Fantasy Island. What's that?
You don't know? Okay. Review my era. So during that era, right, there's always play water theme park.
Ah.
There was this very famous fantasy island. I went out. I still remember I was very young. I went out. I said, I want to try this thing. When I climb out, I'm supposed to slide down. It's a water theme park. Then I didn't do. I walked down.
So you went all the way up and then you go down.
Yeah, go by the way I went up.
Oh my god.
That was my younger age. But now, very fortunate. I grew out of it. Recently, I brought my kids to play some water theme park. I slide down on various heights. Not the super tall, like 450 level. No, that one is still not for
That one
me.
you still cannot.
That still cannot. My kids do, I will still find very dangerous.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 50 level, bro. Very high.
But your kids are okay.
No, my kids are very young. Right?
Oh, but
so
they cannot go.
Yeah, they are like 7 and 9, right? So, but it's equivalently high, like a few story. I'm able to overcome. I slide down a few times, and during the moment it's quite scary. But okay, I have a breakthrough. And because of kids, they are doing it. I think I also have to do it.
The pressure.
A bit, it can still be a reason or an excuse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I always turn into positive and just go for it. And actually, I quite enjoy it. Looking forward to the next theme park. Water theme park.
Water theme park. There's only Wild Wild Wet and then there's Adventure. Even in Singapore.
I went to Malaysia that time. I went to, what's that place? Desaru.
I've never been.
Desaru, there's a water theme park. Then, Wild Wild Wet, one of the school holidays, I brought them there. It was quite fun.
They expanded also, so it's quite. I haven't been to the new one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I never been to old one though. Those were years that I'm not ready for it.
Yeah. I was a fun fact. I was a lifeguard at Wild Wild Wet last time, part time while waiting for O levels.
Right.
And how do I get? I know I can swim.
Okay.
But was I afraid of the wave pool, the one that they have automatic wave? I very scared of that one.
Okay.
I don't know how I pass also.
You're so good. You're courageous.
But again, that one also, I think, same with the topic. But something I remember from that one is the reason why I wanted to become a lifeguard was not because it's not just a job for me while waiting for levels. It's me overcoming the fear of, because I was heavyweight also, right, at that time. So the fear for deep pools was that if I go down, I cannot go back. That was a fear. So I don't know if scientifically logically it will happen but I become a lifeguard to overcome that fear.
Right.
Yeah. So I have figured out my way of psyching myself to stop the fear of failing to stop me from trying, right? So what would you be your advice to people?
In terms of stopping yourself from?
In terms of how do you stop? Can they stop the fear of failing from stopping them from trying? Yeah.
To me, you only live once,
yeah.
Right? You are 20, only once. If you are 30, you only once, right? To me, if you do, I think at the end of your life, I think I rarely hear anyone regretted the things that you've done, but more on the regrets on the things that they haven't done, right? So with that, I've always want to live a life of no regrets, right? To do the things that I would like to accomplish.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, shouldn't have failures. Right. It's all the mind. How you go around it, making it work.
Yeah.
Actually, to me, that isn't. So if were to encourage someone, I think you should just do while you're at this age, because next year you'll be still the same self if you
Ah,
don't do that thing. Then you wonder what will happen to you,
I understand.
right? After like, in your 20, what happened to you in your 25? 25, you think, if I've started 20,
Earlier,
right?
I would have this stamina to whatever to do.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you spend money can earn back.
Yeah.
But the time is past, right? So I find everyone should just adopt the philosophy of you only live once, right? But to do what you need to do, so that the older self can be thankful for what you have done.
Yeah. So in other words, if you do chance upon failure, you just have to embrace it lah.
Yes.
Embrace failure and then don't give up. Keep on trying. Never say you cannot do it. Say I can find another way to do it.
Yes.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how do you stop yourself from going into that spiral of I don't think I am the best person, or I don't think I'm worth it to do something. Like let's say if someone has a dream, okay, against their circumstances, their upbringing, but how do you think that person can set themselves up to stop from self-doubting themselves to do what they want to do or what they like to do?
I find they should go and Google for some inspiration quotes. Really, find something that resonate you and live by it.
Work on
Right.
it or something.
So some of the quotes that I learned, you live by design, not by default. Right. So default is where your upbringing is, whatever you know, whatever resources you have. Design is you go and create the opportunity, find your own resources, find the right people, make it happen. Right. So you can choose you to do it or not to do it, you still live your life.
Oh, okay.
Right. But what kind of quality of life you want? Right? You want it to be a level 10 kind of quality or a level 1 kind of quality. Right? The choice is yours. And some things I also, maybe I share with you this being a dad.
Oh, yeah.
One of the reasons why myself, even my wife, we are all working hard is we also want to be a good role model to our kids. Based on some of the things that we observe, right? Some of the challenges from our friends, we do see a social trend, right? If the parents is this profile, the kids likely to be that kind of profile, and so on and so forth. Can be a businessman, successful entrepreneur, could be someone who maybe really hate studying.
Yeah.
Then probably the next generation also follow suit, right? Maybe, right? Not always, but we do
Higher
see
chance
some
lah, yeah.
trends. And family that of legal practice, study their children will be a lawyer, right? So these are some of the common trends that I observe over the years. That's why when we have kids, I always have this mindset that I want to also inspire them.
Yeah.
By being the right person, by sharing with them a right value, and nothing beats leading by or sharing by experience, leading by experience,
leading by
right?
example,
Being
yeah.
a role model for them, because kids learn best when they see you, right? So so I want to be my very best so that my next generation can also adopt this very best attitude, right? Then for my listener who are having families and all this, I'm sure you want your family, your kids to also do well and even better than you, in fact, right? But sometimes as a parents ourselves, we need to push ourselves, right? So that you can share with them, actually you're not comfortable doing this, but you push yourself. Then hope that they can be like you, right? Pushes themselves to do things that is not comfortable, right? Then I think family can be a good motivation.
I think is one of the best motivation out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, Donny, before we end off, any last advice or words of encouragement to the viewers who are still trying to learn from failures and trying to pivot their way to success? What would you say?
I will share with my guys, people I know, why I can get some humble result all these years is because of me head on with failure. I love failure.
Run towards it.
Go head on. Like people say doing online prospecting, a lot of nonsense leads.
Yeah,
it's all good. I head on, right? If the nonsense lead are like 80-90%, it's good. I just get a 10, right? So it doesn't matter what kind of, like some people, whenever someone don't do it, things are never easy, let's put it this way, right? If it's easy, every human that we know will be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Right? Then who's going to work anyway? Yeah. Right? Like go in one shop, you sell business, the business flourish. You sell insurance, insurance flourish. Everyone, I love your product. Like you singer, you start singing, you are a superstar, then record breaking. It's not like that, right? Life is not. So, but there's always this 80%, 20%, 80-20 rules, right? I believe if you can tweak your mind to think like the 20%, you can have the result and the success of the 20%. And you can go and study all the successful entrepreneur like Jack Ma, like everyone like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
They all have been through failures, right? If they never hit on with failures, or rather, I think to them it's not failure, it's just feedback. But to some people, it's failure. It's just feedback. So but today's topic about failure, right? So it's about failure. Head on, overcome it, be positive. You see how your life can turn around, right? So I'm a living example. I feel many times, whatever challenges they have gone through in real estate, prospecting, negotiation, people want to work with you, don't want to work with you, where you say you're lousy, where you say I don't need you. Been through that, done that, and that brings me to my life story where I can share with my agents and share with my family. So my advice is you should go head on with failures, right? Because if you know failures means you're not doing, because you sit down there, there's no failure. But end day, you also have no success.
Yeah.
Right. So you need to go in, unlock, then you know, failure or success. Right. Then after you learn from this good failure, right? Because you learn, then you bring yourself a step ahead to success. Right. So I wish my listener all the good failure that they can encounter, right? And to have good success.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Donny, for joining us in the studio. And you guys remember, understanding that failure brings valuable lessons. Keep us humble, determined, resilient, and don't be afraid to take the risk. And like Donny said, run towards it. Don't be afraid. Don't go against it because it will return back to you. You'll start to you'll go back to square one. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Power Monday. We hope you found Donny's insight as inspiring as I did. It was so much fun talking to you. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
And remember, if you guys would like to tune into more episodes, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on Spotify. We have updates every week, every Monday, as I said earlier. If you enjoyed this episode, leave comments. Let us hear or read what your experience are with failures, and then stay tuned for more powerful episodes. And until next time, keep pushing forward, stay empowered as we continue to rise by raising others. And remember, your Mondays don't have to be blue again. This has been Donny and Taufik. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Power Monday, where your Mondays will never be blue again.